Hey guys, I am working on dinner and I thought I'd show you what I'm making. So I'm going to put the meatballs away, but I wanted to show you what I'm using. So I'm using these Costco meatballs that we got yesterday that are super delicious to make a very easy like meatball and gravy, like Swedish meatball kind of thing. So I'm going to put these away because they've been out. So I already baked some in the oven for like 20 minutes just so they're heated through. We have to eat really quick because of dance tonight, so hello, thank you for joining. Okay, so I'm gonna throw these in my freezer, but I wanted to show you what they are. It's a 6-pound bag. It was like 20 bucks. It's such a great deal, and they were really delicious. So I'm gonna put those away, and then I'm gonna get my green beans started too. So I just got a bag of green beans that I'm going to throw into actually they're in my steamer, and I'm gonna turn that on really quick. So, but I wanted to be able to tell you guys what I was doing. Okay, so if you don't have a rice maker veggie steamer, get one. They're the best. Okay, so I've got that going. So in my pan here, I have some melted grass-fed butter, and I also have already cooked my noodles, and the noodles I'm using today are bow tie because it's what I have. You could use whatever you want. So these are already cooked. My meatballs are heated through, getting my veggies going, so now I'm going to make the sauce gravy, whatever you want to call it. So I've got butter melted already, and I'm going to throw in some Italian seasoning. And I'm just doing this so it can cook in the butter for just a minute. And some granulated onion. And granulated garlic. I love garlic in everything. And then some black pepper as well. So I want to know, what are you guys making for dinner tonight? Are you doing something special for Valentine's Day? Or not? It's dance night. It's normal night. Okay, I got all my seasoning in there, so I'm just going to cook it around for a minute, and then I'm going to add some flour in here to make a roux. And I'll just start out adding some, and I can always add more, but you can't take it out, so don't add too much at a time. But you just want it to be like a very thick consistency. I'll show you what the consistency you want it to be is once I get it there. It's hard to explain, but like maybe dough consistency, a little thinner than that. I thought I heard my veggie thing pop up. So I'm just going to keep adding flour till I get to that consistency, and you want to let the flour taste cook out. So if you were to accidentally add in too much flour, you could just add more butter, and that would solve the problem. It's not like it's doomed. So I've got a lot of this already prepared, but I knew like waiting for someone to cook meatballs and noodles is not very exciting, so just thought I'd show you the sauce part. You could use whatever noodles you have on hand. Okay. So I guess it's thinner than dough. I don't know. Thick consistency. I'll show you here. So you can see what that looks like there. Okay, so I've got that. Then what I'm going to do is I've got a little bit of broth left over from a couple days ago, so I'm going to use the rest of that first. I found this organic beef broth at Costco. I was really excited because they don't normally carry it. I do like to make my own broth, but sometimes it's easier to just buy it, and I've actually never made beef broth. So anyways, just a little bit at a time. Don't pour it in there too quickly. If you watched my mac and cheese video, you saw the same process. Takes a little bit of time, add a little bit at a time, mix it up. Makes a big mess. I only have like one big pan, like with the high sides, and I use that to cook the pasta, so I'm just using up the rest of this one. I don't measure things, so I'm sorry that I don't have measurements for you because it would just depend on how much you want. But I would guess that that was probably about a cup left in that box. So I'm just kind of getting it to the consistency I want. I'm going to be a little thicker than what I want it because when I'm I'm gonna finish it up. I'm gonna put some half and half in it, so. But you only wanna add it just a little bit at a time. I'm gonna use this one here to get off the sides. Alright, I'm gonna open up this other one. Again, a little bit at a time. And how much you want will just kind of depend on how many servings you want. If we're only feeding 4 people, so I did about 4 cups of pasta. It was dry pasta, so I cooked up 4 cups of that. So this is still pretty thick. You are going to want it almost like a gravy consistency, but a little bit thinner. So I'm guessing that's probably going to be about good. And the good thing is you can always add in a little bit more broth if you needed to. So that seems pretty good to me. And then I have some of this frozen crushed garlic. Obviously you could dice up garlic. I just didn't have time today. Mondays are so busy for us that all the shortcuts. It's kind of thawing out. I left it out too long. So anyways, some garlic in there. I'm going to throw this back in my freezer. Okay. So put some garlic, some more crushed garlic in there. Let that get all cooked up in there. And then I've got my meatballs already cooked and I'm going to add them to the sauce. So I've heated them through in the oven already. So I'm going to add them in. You could just let them heat in the sauce, but I just figured this would be much faster, especially for showing you guys what I was doing. So I'm just getting all my meatballs in the sauce here. And since everybody eats at different times, what I'll probably do is throw it back into the pan that the meatballs cooked in to keep it warm for my husband when he gets home. Because usually he's walking in the door as I'm walking out the door to bring my daughter to dance. So. Okay. Just gonna mix the meatballs all up in here. And you could season this however you want. You could use whatever type of seasonings are your favorite. But, okay, there's that. So I've got my meatballs in there. It's like my gravy sauce. Then I'm going to just take a little bit of half and half. This ring light makes it kind of hard to show you guys some things sometimes. Okay, so just a little bit of half and half. Kind of however much you want. However creamy you want to make it, I guess. I would say that was like maybe a half a cup. So obviously you don't want to put too much because then it's going to turn into like liquid. But so now what I'm going to do is add in my noodles that I've already pre-cooked. I'm going to move this lid out of the way. I'll be right back. Alright, so my noodles are already pre-cooked. I did leave them a little al dente because I don't want them to turn into mush. They always get stuck to the bottom of the pan when I cook them ahead of time. And I don't want to put oil in it because I don't want the sauce to run off of them. But you could if you wanted to. Okay. So I've got all my noodles in here. I used bow tie. You could use shells. You could use egg noodles if you wanted, but they are going to get a little softer than these and they'll probably turn to mush sooner. So just keep that in mind. So if you're just joining, I'm making like a Swedish meatball dish kind of thing. I'm using some frozen meatballs that I got at Costco yesterday. Hold on, bud, I'm making a video, okay? My son's always coming out of his room to tell me all sorts of interesting video game facts. So like a Swedish meatball kind of dish because it can sit and we can all eat at different times, and I'm making some green beans to go with it. So I will post the video so you can see the whole recipe. I had pre-cooked the meatballs and the noodles so they were ready, so you guys didn't have to watch me make those. But If you wanted to, you could add more half and half at this point if you wanted it to be a little more liquidy, but I think it's a great consistency. So I'll just put the lid on it, let it sit for just a few more minutes, and then I will dish it up for the kids. And then, like I said, for my husband, because if I let it sit on the stove, it's probably going to burn, I'll just throw it into the oven, keep it at a really low temperature to keep it warm for him. But I will show you what it looks like up close, and of course I'll share pictures because that's what I always do. But very quick, very easy. So thanks for joining me, guys. Have a good night and happy Valentine's Day.